In this video, I want to talk about the one lesson that helped me to hit my first $100,000 in my business, but more importantly, why the first 100,000 is always the hardest. Why is the first 100,000 the hardest? Well, number one, no one knows you, right? So we live in an attention economy. Basically, attention is today's currency. It used to be labor, then it became oil, then it became tech. Now it's attention. And so for you to get your first 100,000, you need to get a lot of attention to do it, but more importantly, you have to get attention from the right people in the right place. And so if you're in a job, then you need the attention of your boss. If you're, not your 10 colleagues, if you're a business owner, you need the attention of the people who care about what it is you have, and not just from any random people on the internet. And, really the point here is to actually getting attention in itself is not a hard thing to do. It's actually quite easy to get attention. The challenge is getting attention from the right people, but then it's actually keeping that attention and converting that into something more valuable for you. The second reason is that you have no financial leverage. What does that mean? Well, basically, you have to do everything yourself to get to 100K. You are the marketer, you are the salesman, you are the social media manager, you are the accountant, you are customer service, you are basically everything in your business at one time. And this is why I personally love selling something high ticket, because you can get that financial leverage you need quicker and sooner, and then be able to outsource tasks sooner and quicker, because now you have the cash flow to be able to do it. And so, you can release yourself from working in the business much sooner and start working on the business much sooner, which allows you to grow the business faster and scale it up to a much higher degree. The third reason is employee mindset. Now look, there's no doubting that as we grew up, for 90% of us, or 90% of the population, we were conditioned to think the same way. Go to school, go to university, get a job, get married, work for however many years, and then eventually you retire and you die. And look, there's nothing wrong with being an employee in that sense. It's just that you can't be an employee and a business owner at the same time, because the two mindsets just don't match. And so at every stage of your business, whether you're starting out, getting to your first 10K, 100K, a million, doesn't really matter. The point is that it's not enough to get you to that next level. And ultimately, every successful business owner understands that for you to get to that next level in your business, you have to become the person who is capable of running and building a business at that level. Fourth reason is that you don't know what you don't know. Now, I remember when I first started my business, I would look at other people who are successful and I literally would think, I could do that. That's pretty easy. Post content and talk to people. Yeah, I could do that, no problem. But what I was so stupid to understand was that when someone does something, they make it look easy. The reason it looks easy is because they've probably spent thousands of hours learning that skill and mastering it so that it looks that way. Just don't know what you don't know. And what that means is that you lack a skill, or you lack knowledge in something, but that's something that you know of is literally the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what you need to know for success. Success itself is invisible. It's created in private. It's presents itself in public, but ultimately as a beginner, all you see are the results of success. And finally, the fifth reason is that being busy blinds you. What do I mean? Well, Alex Hormozi said that you can't be busy and broke at the same time. So what he meant by that was, look, if you're busy, you should be making money. But if you're broke, then you should have time to make money. And ultimately, if you're busy and you're broke at the same time, then you're wasting time on things that don't matter. And ultimately, what you're doing is just wrong. And so, typically, again, when we have the employee mindset and we kind of come through that conditioning, we equate our time to value. We believe that putting in more time, doing more work, is what creates more value, and that the busier we are, the more money we can make. But again, most people get stuck with trading time for money. And, getting to your first 100K is realizing that the value you provide is much more than just the time you provide. And that, you have to find other ways to leverage your knowledge, your time, your network, and your money combined to generate more value with the time you put into something. Which leads me on very nicely then to the lesson I learned that helped me to land my first 100K in my business. And the lesson is, again, very simple. It's ask who, not how. Now, most people get stuck saying, I have a problem. How can I fix this problem? And after a quick Google search, you can probably find a solution to most problems online. But a lot of the time, the problem you're solving is actually a symptom of a much larger, a more deeper, I should say, root problem, which you just haven't seen or you don't understand yet. And so that's why asking who is much more valuable than asking how, because when you are asking how, you get the answer that you perceive to be the problem, which for a 50-50 chance is going to be either right or wrong. But when you're asking who, you can come across people who know the answer to the problem and who perhaps also know what the real problem is, but they know that not 50-50, not 50% of the time, but they know it 95% of the time, right or wrong. So instead of just always thinking, okay, how can I solve this problem? Just think, okay, who has solved this problem before? Where can I find them online? And all you do is you just consume their content. You invest in their courses, you listen to what they say, and you follow what they do. And so, yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about how you can scale your own coaching business and get your first or next 100,000 in your bank account, then give this video next a watch, and perhaps it'll give you an answer to a problem that you didn't know you had.